Hi, Milers. This is Beverly of Miles and Coffee coming to you with another video. But I have a treat for you. I'm wearing red because at the time of this taping in February, I am doing all things related to my love for Mexico. So if you love Mexico and are planning to come to Mexico for either a short stay or an extended stay, this video is for you. In fact, it's a part one in a series called Why You Need an Immigration Specialist. Yes, yes. Those of you who have been following me a while know that I moved here from Chiapas, right on the map, all the way over to this area here, which is Baja California Sur, right? And I received my first residence card in Chiapas, had some difficulties renewing, and then I came to Baja and ended up renewing or getting a new residency. So I'm trying to help those of you that are considering that because Mexico has made some changes. Some housekeeping, please, if you will, please help the channel by clicking the like button. If you know someone who'd be interested in this information about Mexico, please share because it might help them. Right, okay, let's get started. Get some your ink pen and your notepad ready. Mexico has made some changes. People who come to Mexico for business or pleasure and have valid passports can complete a visitor's permit, also known as the Forma Migratoria Multiple or FMM card. It is customary to receive this at your point of entry. In an earlier video, I posed the question, is Mexico cracking down on expats? The short answer to that question is yes. And I will leave over in this section the link to that, a card to that at the end of this video. We can check that out. I made 2 videos related to the cracking down and how things are changing in Mexico. The 180-day maximum stamped on your FMM card is no longer the default. That is related to the changes because the Mexican service has new immigration laws. And so now the maximum time allowed on your visitor card is 180 days, period. This new development could put a wrinkle in your plans if you were planning to stay the full 180 days and that amount of time has not been granted, right? So that's why I want you to take some notes and keep these points in mind. Gone are the days when you can come and just the stamp 180 days on your card. So there are several points. Let's talk about point number 1. Changes for visitors. Okay, those of you that are coming here and maybe you want to stay in Mexico for longer than 3 weeks, and you're hoping to get a full 180 days stamped, just realize that the amount of time stamped on that card is at the discretion of the immigration officials. So be prepared to explain how long you are here and be prepared to explain your intentions with proof because they might ask you for evidence to prove your plans and how long you're staying. For example, your hotel, the address and how long that hotel stay is for. Or if you're doing Airbnb runs, you should be able to prove, okay, I'll be here a certain amount of weeks and then there a certain amount of weeks. Also, your flight, your return flight would be very helpful because now immigration may ask for that. When they ask you, how long are you staying? Why are you staying? Are you visiting? Are you touring? Where are you staying? They may ask for that. So that's one change for visitors. Changes for tourists. For example, if you are, this is point number 2, by the way, if you are intending to stay in Mexico for a vacation or maybe for a business trip, the changes might not affect you as much because usually on a business trip, you will have, okay, this is where I'm going, this is where we'll be staying, I'm at a conference, whatever. If you're touring, usually you have booked accommodations in advance, and you can show I'll be at this place, I'll be at this resort or what have you. Okay, but again, be prepared to explain the nature of your plans to the official that you encounter when they stamp your card, right? Now, points number 3 and 4 are very crucial because some of you might be planning to live here part-time. There are some changes for that, and so this will be point number 3. Those of you who want to live part-time in Mexico and are used to rely on using your visa permit for a long-term stay, you might want to rethink your plans. Okay, your best bet is to speak with an official at your point of entry and explain your intention before they stamp that number on your FMM. You know, you can request for amount of days, but just keep in mind that the maximum stay is 180 days. That is a limit. And it's good to have that number in your mind and also have it circled on a calendar so that you know, okay, at a certain point of time, this is when I have to leave Mexico, all right? Point number 4, perpetual visitors and border hoppers, right? Mexico has modernized its INM offices. You know, when they used to stamp your FMM 180 days, whereas they needed to give you 180 days and you could kind of have peace of mind, those days are gone because whereas they used to just stamp 180 days, now they're actively recording arrivals and they're checking records because your entry is now entered into a computer. Okay, the process is a little bit more streamlined. How do I know this? When I was in Chiapas and I was going for to renew the first temporary card, I could see that they had me in the computer, how long I had, when I arrived, they even had my TEFL in there and whatnot. And my second process, things take a long time in Mexico. And so the first time it took months, and the second time it took months, even to the point of my temporary residence card expiring, which is what led me to another city. And now being in Baja, knowing that there was a relocation service that could help, and knowing that they also have an INM office here, I started the process all over again and was more successful. But that's because I hired a specialist. We'll get back to that in a minute. Okay, so now that they're able to check, remember that any INM official has been authorized to ask you for documentation, ask you how long are you staying, and that is why you need to have your FMM card on you along with your passport. If you have a temporary residence card, I suggest you keep that on your person at all times, because now the INM officials are actively checking. I have seen videos of people that said, never had this problem before, but now I was asked to prove this and show that. This is part of the new law, right? Any INM official can ask you how many days, and then they can also check in the computer at the INM office to see if it matches up with what they have on their records, right? They know how many days, they know when you've arrived, and they can check how many days remaining, and they can see whether a person has overstayed their allotted time. So for this next point, number 4, in case that your visitor's permit expires, what should you do? Okay, first of all, know that you will be required to leave Mexico when your FMM expires. That's why, you know, Mexico is cracking down on border runs. That's what people have been used to doing. Okay, remember the number of days written on that card is the maximum time you're allowed, even if it is less than 180 days. You will be required to leave because the card is not renewable. Okay, it's only a permit. If you are in Mexico, however, you might be allowed to exchange your visitor's visa, your visitor's card, I should say, visitor's permit, for legal residency. Okay. But again, you will leave Mexico to begin that process with a few exceptions. If you have a familiar connection, like a spouse or whatever, or maybe a son or a child, you know, that is a Mexican naturalization, then you can apply and exchange your visitor's permit for a residency permit in country, okay? Or under special procedures announced by I&M lately, some people with an expired visitor's permit may exchange it for residency permits in country without leaving. Or Mexico has been known to permit some people to exchange their visitor's permit for a residency card for humanitarian reasons. Okay, I'm not a specialist, but all of the reasons that I just listed above, this is the reason why you should hire a resident immigration specialist, and I am highly recommending that you do so. Okay, I'll leave a link to Host Relocation Services below, because they were very, very helpful for me when I was just recently had to go through the process. Remember that hiring a specialist gives you peace of mind. It can save you time because things take a long time in Mexico, and it will cost you some money, but it's worth it. I cannot compare with you the time it took me when I was in Chiapas with the time it took me in Baja. It's just two different things. Just night and day. I'm talking from months in a process to literally days from beginning to end, right? And it's a peace of mind. So I highly recommend that you contact Yvonne. She has specialists in certain places in Mexico. She'll tell you where they are. And she's very timely. And I believe that if you have any question about that process, you should contact them just to even ask a question. They're very, very helpful. And I believe that'll be helpful for you to know what's going on. Okay, so this is part 1 in a series, part 1 out of 3. And we will continue on this topic about why you need an immigration specialist. Okay, so thank you for listening. Feel free to share your comments and where you are, what your status is, what has helped you. Have you used a relocation service? How did it go and how long did it take? Because your comments will help someone else as they are looking to start the process. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this has been helpful. I hope you took good notes, and stay tuned for part 2 out of 3 in this series. Until next time, remember to keep it simple and take it one day at a time, my friends. Until next time on Miles and Coffee. Bye for now.